African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoy, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command in combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 2nd of May, 2025. From April 26 to May 2nd of this year, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 7 group strikes with high-precision weapons and attack unmanned aerial vehicles, which resulted in the destruction of enterprises of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine, the infrastructure of military airfields, weapons and ammunition depots, locations of electronic intelligence systems, production and storage of attack unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned boats, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries. Units of the North Group of Forces have completed the rout of Ukrainian armed forces formations in the Kursk region. During active offensive actions, the settlement of Gornal in the Kursk region was liberated, the last settlement under the control of Ukrainian militants. The creation of a security zone in the border areas of the Sumy region of Ukraine continues. In the Belgorod and Kharkov directions, units of 2 mechanized, motorized infantry, airborne assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces and 3 territorial defense brigades were defeated over the course of a week in the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces. The enemy's losses amounted to over 1,530 militants. 2 tanks, 32 combat armored vehicles, 104 cars, 52 field artillery guns for electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, and 6 ammunition depots were destroyed. As a result of decisive actions by units of the West Group of Forces, the settlements of Kamenka and Doroshavka in the Kharkov region and Novoy in the Donetsk People's Republic were liberated. The manpower and equipment of the tank, for mechanized, ranger, airmobile, assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces and 3 territorial defense brigades were damaged that the enemy lost over 1,630 servicemen, 2 tanks, 7 armored combat vehicles, including a Turkish-made Kirpi armored car, a US-made M113 armored personnel carrier, 53 vehicles, 28 field artillery guns, including 16 made by NATO countries, 6 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, as well as 27 ammunition depots, were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Troops took up more advantageous lines and positions. They defeated the formations of 6 mechanized, 2 assault, motorized infantry, airmobile, airborne assault brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 territorial defense brigades and a National Guard brigade. Over the week, the losses of Ukrainian armed formations in this direction amounted to more than 1,790 militants, 13 combat armored vehicles, including an M113 armored personnel carrier, 3 HMMWV armored vehicles and a US-made Max Pro armored vehicle, 39 vehicles, 13 field artillery guns, 6 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, and 13 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces improved their position along the front line. Manpower and equipment of 2 heavy mechanized, 7 mechanized, assault, 2 Jaeger brigades, a brigade of unmanned systems, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, a territorial defense brigade and 3 National Guard brigades were damaged that the enemy lost over 2,970 servicemen, 20 armored combat vehicles, including an HMMWV armored car and an M113 armored personnel carrier made in the United States. 36 vehicles and 20 field artillery pieces were destroyed. Units of the East Force Group continued to advance deep into the enemy's defense. They defeated formations of 3 mechanized, 2 Ranger, airmobile, assault, airborne assault brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, a Marine brigade and 2 territorial defense brigades that the enemy lost more than 1,220 servicemen, 16 combat armored vehicles, 64 vehicles, 15 field artillery pieces, including a French-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Caesar, a German-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Panzerhaubitze 2000, 6 electronic warfare stations, and 3 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the mechanized mountain assault brigades, 3 coastal defense brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and 2 territorial defense brigades. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost over 600 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles, 22 cars, 6 field artillery guns, 10 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, and 9 ammunition depots. The Russian aerospace forces shot down a Su-27 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force. Over the course of a week, air defense systems shot down 36 JDAM guided aerial bombs and 5 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets, 2 S-200 anti-aircraft guided missiles converted to hit ground targets, as well as 1,306 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles. The Black Sea Fleet's naval aviation destroyed the U.S.-made Willard high-speed boat and 3 unmanned boats in the Black Sea, damaging 1 boat. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the following have been destroyed: 662 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 54,891 unmanned aerial vehicles, 605 anti-aircraft missile systems, 23,117 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,554 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 24,369 field artillery pieces and mortars, 34,874 units of special military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.